Well, good morning, West Ham fans. Russ, the West Ham Network. It's Friday. Friday. Got to get down on Friday. It's Friday, yeah, Saturday, Sunday. What? And obviously Saturday, we return back to the London Stadium for the BS Cup final. Could we get our hands on some silverware before the season kicks off as we play Lille A side? The way I say that is because we play Lil B, and it is someone that is rap, sounds like a rap artist. It does. We play Lil B, Justin. I think it's on Sunday at Rush Green behind closed doors. Although I would assume it's the Sunday, because just do. I just do, because he's not going to have two games playing at the same time, or even one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Not going to work. Not going to work. So I believe it's on the website. They're going to be showing at the website. Someone said it's pay for it, but I don't know if that's true. I haven't looked, to be honest. But we'll be having a match day morning beforehand. Anyone new to the channel, what we do is every sort of pre-match home game, we do a live show outside the stadium. I was going to say to get some atmosphere, but it's a friendly. But you know what I mean. So we'll have that. So make sure you check that out on Saturday. We'll be there probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock ish. So I have to get this stupid o'clock anyway. Even more so when it comes to a bloody what's it called? First game of the season, because it's literally, behind the fourth wall. Obviously, we don't own the stadium, do we? Shock horror. So as soon as the last game's over, we have to take all of our equipment out. So we've got to put it all back in on Saturday. So we will see. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to give it a like, comment, share. I think. I don't think we'll. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know anymore now. Who knows if we'll announce Mads Hermansen today? Maybe. I think he's due for his medical today. So unless he does his medical and does it all very, very quickly, which I don't think they will do. I think they'll, like all the media stuff, they'll want to make a good thing of it, won't they, really? So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. But we shall see. But what's been quite interesting is the sort of the narrative that's come out after this. So if you look at the timeline, all intensive purposes, Victor was going to be signing, and then at the 24th hour, 12th hour, 36th hour, whatever, the deal was off. Now, some reports have come out and said that he was at the airport. He was at Rio Airport, ready to board a plane. Some says it was this side as well, but I don't think he was. Interesting article coming out of Brazil. Now, I wonder if it's the Brazilian club and Victor are trying to save face. Obviously, he was booed in his last game because they knew he was leaving, and as the manager pretty much kicked him out the door. But according to UOL in Brazil, it's claimed that Victor rejected West Ham and decided he wanted to stay at Botafogo. The report claims that their sources have told them the decision was made by Victor himself, not West Ham, because he wanted to stay and win more titles with Botafogo. The report also states that Victor felt his dream of playing for the Brazilian national side also influenced his decision to stay. I thought Ancelotti said he needs to go to, because his son is the Botafogo manager, so it would look like nepotism. I don't know. Anyway, this is despite the fact he could play for a club in the best league in the world in front of the second biggest crowd in the English game. In an unashamed attempt to turn the tables on West Ham and Sullivan, it is further claimed the goalkeeper backed out the deal. That's despite Victor's manager saying his goodbyes and the player being left out of the clash against Bragantino in the Copa do Brasil on Wednesday night. He snubs the Hammers, it's reported. His club was very keen to cash in, so much so they've signed Neto from Bournemouth and now have three keepers on the books. Victor and Botafogo can dress it how it's like, but it always seemed to me that Mads was going to be the first choice. And as I said, I think brinkmanship tactics employed by West Ham, we've got form in this to get the deal. It's nothing new to West Ham or in the modern game, utilizing other deals to get this one over the line. I think originally Leicester were looking at £35 million. I haven't even pressed the button. £35 million for Mads, and so much so they've already got not his replacement, but the second keeper in Asmir Begovic, and the guy who played second fiddle to Mads, he's going to be the first choice for Leicester City. And now it looks like we're getting him for 18. So, we've got almost half their money. So, look, I think it doesn't look good in the club, but as I've said, I think many other clubs do it. They do it. They do false bids. They do try and get one player to sign the other player. How far we were down the line, I don't know. The fact is, Victor's trying to save face and saying he's snubbed. I think it's trying to save face embarrassment. That he says, he pretty much said he was going. Everyone said he was going, and then it's been pulled at the last minute. And for me, it seems that he's trying to save face. Now Botafogo have got 3 keepers on the hand. Now, silver lining potentially for Victor is Man United were also interested in him, and William McKay, the super agent, had pitched him to Man United as well. So maybe he will get his chance to play but he doesn't want to play in the Premier League. He doesn't want to play in the Brazilian leagues. He just said so. So we'll see what happens. But I can understand the narrative. I can understand in terms of saying that, oh, it's all right, I'll change my mind. I don't think he did. I think West Ham pulled the plug, and I think it was... I think because I get it. I think because the way that, it was his big move that people have sympathised with Victor. I think if we were signing a Newcastle keeper or, Martin Dubrovnik or someone like that, and it might not be as, what's the word? Not nasty, but as, I can't think of the word, but it's basically putting us in a bad light. So I don't know. The fact is, we've heard 2 different stories, as always, and I don't think you never hear the truth. You'll get what people have said, and some people will paint it as a tactical genius move to half the price that Leicester City wants. Some will find it a poor way of doing business. But it is business, isn't it? It is business, and you want to get the players at the lowest possible price. And I'm not justifying it, but I am saying, if we paid £35 million for Mads Hermansen, I think we would have all gone, "What the fuck are we paying £35 million for?" But it's Potter's man, it's Potter's guy want, and we're paying £18 million for it, which seems to be a bit more palatable, particularly when we're working on a very tight budget. Why have we got a really tight budget? That's another conversation. But I think there's layers to it, I think is the best way to describe it. One player who is very much in limbo, a bit like Victor, is Emerson. What has happened to Emerson? You haven't seen him at all during the summer series, I believe. And it does seem that he is in some sort of transfer limbo, but an Italian transfer limbo. He was Sarri, who's the Lazio manager's first choice at left back to bring in the summer. Obviously, they played together. He played under Sarri at Chelsea, I believe. And it did seem, to all intents and purposes, that he was going to be one of the only 20 players to have played for both sides of Rome. But unfortunately, it looks like, they've got a transfer freeze on, really, and it's upended their situation, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, which means Emerson, it's not happening at the moment, unless they move some players on. They're in a bit of a financial hole, and so Sarri's had to look inwards. He's loaned out a couple of people who he's loaned out to, but they've come back this season in terms of Cataldi and Kensielli. And so they've been like dubbed as new signings by Lazio, but they just returned back. It's like saying, I know, James Ward-Prowse was a new signing in January. It's the same thing. And he's actually had to sort of turn sort of Nuno Tavares into more of a left back than a left wing back type thing, just to suit his system, really. So it does look like he's in a bit of this limbo, unfortunately, and they need to sell the Lazio president, Claudio Lotito. He's admitted that Lazio need to sell before they can reinvest funds in the likes of Emerson Palmieri. Ironically, one of the players that they're looking to sell is someone West Ham have been looking at for a while in terms of Valentine Castellanos, the former FC New York striker, and Tavares as well. Both only two players have departed the Stadio Olimpico for cash sums this year. So it doesn't look good for Emerson unless they can make some sort of deal and get him in. He's very much going to be sort of stuck in limbo. And with Oli Scars deputising for after Diouf, it looks like it's very much a case of he's going to be sort of sent to the stiffs, so to speak. And unless something happens, I don't know if it will in the next 2.5 weeks. You never know. Strange things happen at sea. Speaking of the season ahead, obviously we play Sunderland next week in the big kickoff to the Premier League. The squad numbers have been announced, and a couple of surprises. One is Callum Wilson's number 9, but 2 is Edson Alvarez, who has changed his number to number 4 in the same way that Max Kilman's changed his number to number 3. Aged has changed his number to number 5, and now Alvarez has changed his number to number 4. So, is it by having the number change, does that assume that Alvarez is staying this year? I don't know. You would like to think he would, and we've 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously number 6 has been retired, as you know, but Madsen being number 1, Hamilton being number 1, I imagine you can actually field a 1 to 11. I wouldn't think much of your chances though, considering Somerville's out and Callum Wilson's in that. But anyway, I think that's the only major ones, aren't they? Yeah, obviously Emerson's the same. George Earthy, Callum Marshall, Lewis Orford. I still think you'll see Lewis Orford. Obviously, Casey not given a shirt number because he's not in the squad this year because he's gone to Swansea. So maybe Orford as well. I still think he'll be moved on for some loan football. But there we go. What do you think about the Hermanson, the Mads deal? Mads Hermanson, Victor, all that type of stuff. John Victor John. What do you think about it? We've done a few videos yesterday in terms of announcing it. We did all you need to know about Mads as well. The lad's only played 140 odd games. He's 25, 6'2", not massive for a goalkeeper, but of a good age. In theory, if he went to Fabianski age, he could be our next goalkeeper 15 years for £18 million a year. That ain't too shabby, Alonso. I understand the sort of the discomfort of the way the business was done with Victor, and again, we only know via piecemeal. We don't know the true. We don't know whether Victor did say no, but I don't think he did because he wouldn't be at Rio Airport. If he was at Rio Airport, we don't know. Anyway, we're back at lunchtime for some news, and also I'll show you the list. Someone's asked me to see the linked list, so I will show the linked list. All 200 of them. Until next time, my friends, take care, stay safe, Actually, while we got you there, I'm going to do the members draw. So anyone new to the channel, we have a membership program in the description below. Members support the channel, and every month we basically do a members draw whereby we basically put all the members in a hat and give away some prizes to say thank you. Let me just get me board up. So this one is going to be for a lovely, let's go full screen so you can see it. Mark Noble and Bobby Zamora signed picture. How nice is that? That'll be going to one lucky viewer. Let's spin that wheel and bring it back up. And the winner is it Phil? Good fellow. Phil, you good fellow. Congratulations. Next, we've got one of these. These are lovely. Let me just remove that. We gave her one of these on the live stream the other day. Mark Noble, the last final game at the Bowling, signed by Mark Noble. Beautiful, beautiful. That would look lovely on a wall. One of these look lovely. Anyway, let me spin that. I haven't even got one. Let's spin that and see who's won that one. And we'll leave Phil in there as well because he could be a double winner. He could be. No one's done it yet, but he could be a double winner. And that's going to go to Dean Budgie. Budgie's won again. Well done, Budgie. So Budgie and Phil Goodfellow. If you could email us your details at westhamnetwork@gmail.com, your postal address, we'll get that out to you straight away. There we go. There we go. And let me mark your cards. Mark your cards for maybe I might put it out on Monday night, possibly. X-Hammer, My Hammer 11. I'm hopefully recording over the weekend. It's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be an interesting one. Anyway, take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay humble. Keep the faith. And I'll see you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.